Namaste. Respected dignitaries, esteemed keynote experts, plenary speakers, session chair experts, researchers, academicians, professionals, students, and all dear participants. We begin this meaningful academic gathering with a prayer seeking wisdom, harmony, innovation, and collective national progress. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyanti, ma kaschit dukhabhag bhavet. In the spirit of Bharat's timeless knowledge tradition, we believe that education must not only inform the mind, but also transform society. May today's conference become a platform where science, technology, artificial intelligence, and Indian knowledge systems unite for the vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047. Vedant Knowledge Systems Private Limited has continuously worked toward transforming the vision of Viksit Bharat at 2047 into practical academic movement through conferences, publications, research collaborations, faculty engagement, and knowledge dissemination. This international conference series serves as a bridge between India's civilizational wisdom and modern multidisciplinary innovation. Every edition of this series strengthens the dialogue between artificial intelligence, sciences, transformative education, and Indian knowledge systems, while promoting ethical, sustainable, and nation-centric research practices. It gives me immense pleasure and pride to welcome you all to the 6th International Virtual Multidisciplinary Conference entitled Advancing Innovation Through Multidisciplinary Research and Transformative Education, AI, Sciences, and IKS in Multidisciplinary Synergy for a Viksit Bharat. This conference is not merely an academic program, it's a collective intellectual movement toward the future of India. As Bharat progresses towards becoming a developed nation by 2047, the role of education, scientific research, emerging technologies, and interdisciplinary collaboration becomes increasingly important. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industries, sciences, and redefining innovations. And Indian knowledge systems are offering ethical and sustainable pathways of humanity. As Bharat progresses toward becoming a developed nation by 2047, the role of education, scientific research, emerging technologies, and interdisciplinary collaborations become increasingly important. Artificial intelligence is reshaping industries, sciences, and redefining innovation. And Indian knowledge systems are offering ethical and sustainable pathways for humanity. Through this conference, we aim to create meaningful discussions on AI-driven education transformation, scientific innovation and sustainable development, Indian knowledge systems and value-based learning, multidisciplinary research frameworks, global academic collaboration for nation building. This gathering seeks to align research and innovation with the larger vision of Viksit Bharat. We now present a special compilation of wishes, blessings, and messages received from distinguished leaders and dignitaries of our nation. These blessings and encouragements strengthen this academic mission dedicated to research excellence and nation building. Vedant Knowledge Systems believes that education must become transformative, research must become socially relevant, and innovation must become nationally purposeful. Through conferences, publications, youth initiatives, and interdisciplinary collaborations, Vedant continuously works toward integrating artificial intelligence, sciences, and Indian knowledge systems into modern academic and research frameworks. Vedant believes knowledge must create character, research must create solutions, and innovations must create national development. Every researcher, every teacher, every student, innovator, and each institute can contribute to this movement toward Viksit Bharat at 2047. You can contribute through multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research collaborations, integration of IKS into education and curriculum, AI-driven educational innovation, youth mentorship and academic leadership, community-oriented research initiatives, policy dialogue, and sustainable innovation. Together we can transform research into national service and education into force of social transformation. On behalf of Vedant Knowledge Systems, its directors and entire organizing team, I extend a heartfelt welcome to all distinguished keynote experts, plenary speakers, session chair experts, researchers, academicians, industry professionals, students, and participants joining us from different parts of India and abroad. Welcome all. Your presence makes this conference a vibrant multidisciplinary confluence dedicated to innovation, education, and nation building. Dear friends, it is time to announce the Best Research Paper Awards. The best research papers are allotted in three categories: student, research scholar, and educator. In this Viksit Bharat at 2047 conference series, this is the sixth version where scholars and exceptional contributors are being awarded with Best Research Paper Award. In student category, Miss Pailam Varsita Anand of Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering, Bengaluru, has earned the Best Paper Award. Congratulations, Miss Pailam. In Research Scholar category, Miss Shubhangi Moghe of Karnavati University has earned this award. Congratulations, Ms. Shubhangi. In Educator category, Swetha P. of MS Ramaya College of Arts, Science and Commerce has earned this prestigious award. Many congratulations to all the awardees and their institutions. Let's move toward the thought-provoking sessions of our esteemed speakers. Guys, now it is time to listen to our keynote speaker of today's session. Professor Shobhna Jeet is a distinguished faculty at Mangalam University and a founding faculty member of Department of Law at Central University of Haryana. She holds a PhD in cyber law and also earned UGC NET. With over 20 years of experience in both industry and academia, Dr. Jeet has taught and supervised postgraduate, undergraduate, and PhD students. She has guided more than 50 postgraduate dissertations. Dr. Jeet is frequently invited as a resource person and chair for technical sessions at national and international conferences, seminars, symposiums, and workshops. She has edited and authored over 17 books, published more than 20 research papers in index journals, 30 book chapters, and holds one patent and two copyrights. Throughout her career, Dr. Jeet has held significant positions in various committees and centers, including chairperson of the Gender Sensitization and Safety Committee, Center of Excellence for Sustainable Development Goals, vice chairperson of Internal Committee, etc. Important positions are being held by her. Let us listen to the insightful talk of Professor Dr. Shobhna Jeet.
Namaste. Respected organizers, distinguished academicians, researchers, scholars, students, and participants from India and abroad. It is a matter of immense honor and privilege for me to deliver this keynote address at the 6th International Virtual Multidisciplinary Conference on Viksit Bharat. I sincerely thank Vedant Knowledge System Private Limited and the organizing team for inviting me to share my thoughts on this very significant and future-oriented theme, advancing innovation through multidisciplinary research and transformative education, AI, sciences, and IKS in multidisciplinary synergy for a Viksit Bharat. The theme is not merely academic, it is national, civilizational, developmental, and deeply transformative. When we speak of Viksit Bharat, we are not only speaking of economic growth, we are speaking of a developed India that is intellectually strong, technologically advanced, ethically grounded, socially inclusive, legally conscious, environmentally responsible, and culturally rooted. The vision of Viksit Bharat demands that every education system must move beyond traditional boundaries. It must prepare students not only for employment, but also for innovation, leadership, social responsibility, and nation building. As a law professor, I look this theme from a very important perspective. Technology may create new possibilities. Science may offer new solutions. Artificial intelligence may accelerate human capacity. Indian knowledge systems, can also provide civilizational wisdom. But all of these guided by justice, ethics, accountability, responsibility, human dignity, and constitutional value. Therefore, my central submission today is a truly developed Bharat will emerge when artificial intelligence, modern sciences, law, social sciences, and IKS, they all will work together, not as a separate discipline, but as a shared national mission. For many decades, education was, largely divided into various different compartments. Every discipline was studied separately, be it law, science, technology, philosophy, management, social sciences, all were taught and studied separately. But the problem of modern world now, it's not coming into a compartment, separate compartments. Likewise, if you think about climate change, we all are burning in heat. Global warming is all around the world. Now, this climate change is not only a scientific issue, It is a legal issue also. It is a governance issue also. It is an economic issue also, and it is a human right issue also. Likewise, artificial intelligence, if I say, it is not only technological issue, it is ethical issue also, privacy issue, employment issue, constitutional issue, and social justice issue. This is why multidisciplinary research has become essential. Now, when you learn about healthcare innovation, you have to learn about affordability, accessibility, public health, bioethics, and patents. A law teacher, when teaching or studying law, must understand technology also, must understand ethics also. A scientist coming up with new innovation must understand the society first. Lawmakers must understand the law first. Researcher, they must understand the local realities, global standard, and the problem, real world problems. Multidisciplinary research is not just about bringing many subjects together. It is about bringing many ways of thinking together. It is about connecting knowledge with real life problems. For an example, when we discuss AI in justice system, we need computer science to understand algorithms. We need law to understand rights and liability. We need sociology to understand social impact. We need ethics to understand fairness. We need psychology to understand human behavior. And we need public policy to design implementation models. Therefore, the future of research lies in collaboration. And a Viksit Bharat cannot be built by isolated departments working in isolation. It will be built by universities, researchers, innovators, industries, policymakers, and communities which are working together. One most important aspect is transformation of education. In education, AI has a tremendous potential. It can support personalized learning. It can help students who are living far away at their own, and they can learn at their own pace. AI can support translation and inclusion for students from different linguistic backgrounds. It can assist teachers to create learning materials. It can help researchers to analyze large data. It can support legal research, document review, and access to information. For students who are in rural areas, AI-enabled tools can bring quality education closer. For persons with disabilities, AI can provide technologies. For researcher, AI can reduce repetitive work. But while we appreciate the power of AI, we must also understand its risks. AI can produce biased outcomes. AI can misuse personal data. AI can spread misinformation. Now, if I talk about the responsibility and accountability, then if AI gives us a wrong medical suggestion, who is responsible for it? If AI is evaluating student wrongly, who will be accountable for this? If AI generated content violates copyrights, who owns the responsibility and accountability? These questions show that AI cannot be left only to the technologists. It must be studied by lawyers, ethicists, educators, sociologists, economists, policy experts. So they all need to understand AI. Therefore, transformative education must include AI literacy, legal literacy, ethical literacy, digital literacy, and of course, Most important, constitutional literacy. Student must learn not only how to use AI, but also question AI. They must learn not only to generate information, but also to verify the information. They also learn how to innovate responsibly through AI. Now, let me come to a very important dimension of today's theme, and that is Indian Knowledge System or IKS, which is considered as a rooted wisdom for future innovation. IKS should not be understood as merely the study of past. It is not going backward. It is about drawing wisdom from India's civilizational knowledge and applying it meaningfully to the contemporary challenges. Indian knowledge system include knowledge traditions, philosophy, ethics, jurisprudence, health, environment, languages, mathematics, astronomy, governance, architecture, agriculture, you know, community life, dispute resolution. As a law professor, for me, IKS is extremely relevant because Indian thought has always given importance to dharam, nyay, kartavya, samajik samrastha, lok kalyan, and ethical living. The Indian idea of justice was never merely punishment oriented. It was also social, moral, and community oriented. When we speak about constitutional duties today, we can connect those duties with the Indian idea of kartavya only. When we speak about environmental law, we can connect it with Indian traditions, whereby we respected rivers, forest, land, animals, nature as a part of larger moral universe. And when we speak about alternate dispute resolution, we can study India's traditional practices of dialogue, mediation, conciliation, and community-based settlements. And when you speak about sustainable development, we can learn from traditional water conservation practices, ecological sensitivity, local knowledge, and community participation. When we speak about governance, we can revisit Indian traditions of ethical leadership, public duty, social welfare, and accountability. Therefore, IK is not separate from modern education. It can enrich modern education. The challenge is to integrate IKS scientifically, critically, and meaningfully. We must avoid both the ends, both extremes. We should neither reject traditional knowledge blindly nor accept everything uncritically. We must examine, validate, and then apply, which is true spirit of knowledge. A Viksit Bharat must be modern but not ruthless. It must be global but not culturally disconnected. It must be technologically advanced but not ethically empty. This is what I call rooted modernity. Now, when I talk about synergy of AI with sciences, law, and IKS, in these three, now first try to understand what is synergy. Synergy means different disciplines do not, merely exist together, but they strengthen one another. Likewise, AI is strengthening science, science is strengthening law, and everything is strengthening and synergetic with IKS. Let's try to understand with the examples. First, let's take example of AI and law. AI can help legal research, translation of judgment, court management, legal aid, access to justice. But what the law will do? Law will ensure fairness, transparency, accountability, and protection of rights. Then science and law. Science gives us evidence. Law converts that evidence into regulation, policy, compliance. For example, environmental science may show pollution levels, but law provides remedies and penalties and standards for institutional mechanisms. Then next is IKS and sustainability. Traditional Indian knowledge can guide us in water conservation, agriculture, architecture, health, community living, and ecological balance. Modern science can test, refine, and expand these practices. Law and policy can support their implementation. Next is AI and IKS. AI can be used to preserve manuscripts, translate classical text, document traditional knowledge, develop Indian languages database, and make civilizational knowledge accessible to younger generation. But this has to be done with sensitivity, respect, honor, and ethical safeguards. Now, in all of this, I think the universities have the most important role to play. When I say that this synergy between AI, law, science, and IKS, in true sense, is known as multidisciplinary education, then I think universities have a very important role to play in nation building. The job of university is not only to provide the degrees, it is a place where ideas are created, values are shaped, research is conducted, innovation is encouraged, and the future citizens of India are prepared. If India has to become a Viksit Bharat, universities must become center for transformation. Now, when I say center for transformation, universities should start this transformation through their curriculum transformation first. They should integrate and include IKS, AI with digital governance, technology with human rights, and they should have the research clusters. Learn AI with social sciences, social justice. Learn IKS with intellectual property. Learn water conservation with IKS. And try to resolve the world real problems through experiential learnings, through live labs. Encourage students to have a solution for the worldwide problems and encourage them. Before innovate something and after innovation, ask question to yourself, is it fair? Is this innovation fair? Is this innovation inclusive? Is it beneficial for the society? Or is it excluding somebody? And the last but not the least, instead of asking a degree holder, instead of asking after completing his degree, what job will I get? Instead of asking this, he should ask, what problem can I solve? This is the transformation we need in India. To the young researchers and students listening to this session, I would like to say, this is your time. The future belongs to you. Do not restrict yourself to one subject. If you are a law student, study technology. If you are a science student, understand ethics. If you are a technology student, study society. If you are a management student, understand sustainability. And if you are a researcher of Indian knowledge system, engage with modern tools and global framework. The world does not need degree holders. The world needs problem solvers. India does not need only educated youth. India needs enlightened, responsible, innovative, socially committed youth. Research should not remain limited to the submission of journal and publication. It should move towards patent, policy, community impact, innovation, entrepreneurship, and social transformation. This is the research culture required for Viksit Bharat. In conclusion, I would like to say that journey towards Viksit Bharat is not the responsibility of government alone. It is the responsibility of every teacher, every researcher, every student, every university, policymaker, and each and every citizen of India. Artificial intelligence giving us the speed, science giving us the evidence, law giving us the justice, IKS giving us roots, education giving us direction, and then multidisciplinary research will give us solutions. As a law professor, I firmly believe that future belongs to those institutions and individuals who combine innovation with ethics, technology with humanity, knowledge with wisdom, and development with justice. Let us build a Bharat where technology serves humanity, where education transforms society, where research solves real life problems, where ancient wisdom meets modern science, and where every innovation contributes to the constitutional values, social justice, sustainability, and national development. Viksit Bharat will not only be built by isolated disciplines, but by integrated minds. It will not be built by information alone, but by wisdom also. It will not be built by technology alone, but by technology guided by justice. Let us move from innovation, from information to wisdom, from innovation to justice, and from education to national transformation. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
The team Vedant is really grateful to you, Professor Dr. Shobhna Jeet, for your enriching talk and meaningful dialogue in this virtual event. Thank you for your valuable time and the talk. Thank you, madam. Moving ahead, friends, let's listen to the plenary talk of today's session. I would like to introduce our plenary speaker, Dr. Bhavik Vakani. He is Assistant Professor of Zoology at Department of Biosciences, Saurashtra University, Rajkot. Dr. Bhavik Vakani is a dedicated academician and researcher specializing in marine biology, intertidal ecology, and biodiversity conservations. He holds both MPhil and PhD degrees in zoology and has made significant scholarly contributions in the field of marine biodiversity, particularly focusing on the diversity, taxonomy, and ecological significance of gastropod limpets along the Indian coastline. His research work has led to several peer-reviewed publications, international conference presentations, and valuable international academic collaborations with reputed institutions including Kyoto University, Japan, and University of Tartu, Estonia. Over the years, Dr. Bhavik has successfully guided more than 25 postgraduate dissertations and has received numerous national and international recognitions for his outstanding research presentations and academic contributions. Beyond research, he has actively participated in important wildlife and biodiversity conservation activities including lion census, dolphin surveys, and bird census programs, reflecting his deep commitment toward ecological preservation and environmental awareness. We are honored to have such an accomplished scholar and passionate conservationist among us today. Let us warmly welcome Dr. Bhavik Vakani for his talk.
Namaste. Warm greetings to all respected academicians, researchers, scholars, educators, students joining this 6th International Virtual Multidisciplinary Conference. It's a truly privilege and honor for me to deliver this plenary talk. I sincerely thank Dr. Arjun and the organizing team of Vedant Knowledge System Pvt Limited for this opportunity. Myself, Dr. Bhavik Vakani, currently working as an assistant professor in Department of Biosciences, Saurashtra University. My academician journey has largely revolved around biodiversity, marine ecology, mollusc study, avifaunal diversity, and interdisciplinary ecological research. Over the year, I had opportunity to participate field-based ecological and wildlife-related studies, including exercise associated with the lion estimation, leopard estimation, dolphin estimation, bird diversity assessment, and coastal ecosystem surveys, which is conducted by Gujarat Forest Department. When we think about nature, it continuously teaches us a very strong lesson. The deeper we study nature, the more we realize every organism, even the smallest one, carries extraordinary lessons about survival, adaptation, balance, and sustainability. Today, when India speaks about Viksit Bharat 2047, I believe we must understand one important thing. Future of innovation will not emerge from isolated disciplines. The future belongs to multidisciplinary thinking. That's why today's talk is about coastal ecosystem to biomimicking innovation, a multidisciplinary roadmap for Viksit Bharat. Before we start, we understand the problem that today we are facing that are interconnected with climate change, pollution, biodiversity losses, healthcare challenges, sustainable material, food security, and environmental degradation. Therefore, their solution must also be interconnected, multidisciplinary. In today's talk, I would like to take you with the journey from coastal ecosystem to molecular, artificial, and biomimicking innovation, and finally toward the vision of developed and self-reliant India. Starting with the Indian coastline, and we must think about our coastline. When most people think about the ocean, they think about the beaches, tourism, or seafood. But for biologists, coastal ecosystems are living laboratories. The intertidal zone, the region between high tide and low tide, is one of the harshest environment on the earth. Imagine living in this particular place that emerge with the faces of strong wave continuously hitting. Temperature that changes drastically, oxygen availability fluctuates in time by time, and every few hours the environment completely changes with the previous one from the underwater to dry exposure. Yet countless organisms survive successfully here, this particular intertidal zone. How they survive, what helps to survive, and how nature helps them to survive. This may contain our sustainability challenges, the answer in this thing. During our field work along the Saurashtra coastline, I often observe small marine organisms surviving under the extremely stressful conditions. One such organism is marine limpet. That is my also PhD topic. This small marine limpet, the picture will show you in the side windows. At the first glance, limpets look like a very simple sea snail attached to the rock. It is a kind of sea snail. But when we study it carefully, we realize it possesses a remarkable adhesion power, efficient water conservation in their body, resistant to wave impact, and precise homing behavior. That is the particular behavior they perform during the day. Every day, these organisms solve engineering problem naturally. Now, this creates an important twist. If nature has already developed efficient survival strategy over the million of years, can humans learn from them? This is exactly where multidisciplinary science begins. Today, humanity faces several major challenges, things we have already discussed. But some of like that rising temperatures, extreme weather events, increasing pollution, various kind of pollutions is there, microplastic contamination, most uh, shocking nowadays problem is microplastic, habitat destruction, and declining biodiversity is a major problem. If we can take an example of coastal erosion is becoming a serious issue in many parts of India. Can biological adhesion mechanism inspire eco-friendly coastal engineering material like this limpet, that particular small molluscan animal do this? Can marine organism help develop stronger sustainable biomaterial? Can we learn from this small organism? Can one question is also the can ecological resilience help us to understand climate adaptation strategies? These are no longer imaginary questions. This is the future direction of science. Now move forward with biodiversity and certain other parts. One of the biggest challenge in biodiversity science today is the many species remain undiscovered because we cannot understand the identification methods of the particular animals. Many animals are too small to identify, and some of the animals are too deep or too high to the normal naked eyes. In fact, scientists estimate that a very large percentage of marine biodiversity is still unknown. And surprisingly, many species look almost identical extremely. They are looks similar, but they are totally different. They are mimicking each other. Traditionally, species identification depends mainly visible features like uh, how they looks, like colors, shell structure, size, and the body shape. But nature is not always simple, right? During our research on the limpet along the Indian coastline, we encountered organisms that looked nearly identical externally but shown hidden genetic differences with the particular limpet species. To study this phenomenon, we use DNA barcoding, which works almost like a scanning of biological barcode, like we can scan by our phone, any barcode. Similar way, scanning a biological barcode. This molecular approach helps us to identify a species more accurately and understand their evolutionary relationships. Now, imagine this challenge on a national scale. India is one of the world's mega diverse countries. We possess the forest, deserts, mangroves, coral ecosystem, mountain ecosystems, wetlands, grasslands, and long coastlines. These all habitat have their own biodiversity regions that contains various kind of animals, various kind of plants, various kind of fungus, various kind of bacteria, various kind of viruses. Is all cumulatively known as the biodiversity. And this layer of biodiversity on the earth known as the biosphere, right? That we all know. The amount of biodiversity data generated is enormous. If we count, if we estimate, if we calculate this data, this is enormous. Even we cannot enlisted all the organisms in single human life. There, this is the where artificial intelligence become transformative. Nowadays, AI doing so much innovative work that can never be thought in human mind. AI can help the scientists like process a large ecological data set, identify various patterns, detect hidden species that we cannot simply see by naked eye. But AI have a certain models. They can identify hidden things on the natural pattern. Another is predict biodiversity losses, where we cannot estimate how the particular event or any event are reason for the biodiversity loss, but this AI can help us to see those problems. It also can help to support conservation plannings. By use of AI, we can generate some model which can better perform conservation level. For example, AI-assisted image recognizing system are now helping identify bird species automatically from photographs and sounds. When we have a photograph or we have various sounds, we can upload by AI tools, and we can identify various bird species by the photographs, or if we have a sounds, we can identify bird species to listen their voices. Another thing is machine learning models are being used globally to predict coral bleaching. We all know what is the coral. So coral bleaching and climate impact on the marine ecosystem are nowadays a major issues. Even wildlife monitoring through camera traps increasingly depends on AI-based recognition system. When we cannot see at the night, but the AI model-based night tracking cameras can see continuously whole area which we can want to monitor. So here biology and computer science are no longer separate subjects. They become a partner. And this is exactly the type of multidisciplinary ecosystem India needs for the future. When we talk about wildlife ecology and conservation with the human survival net, sometimes when we are studying this kind of things, people ask us, why should we care about the biodiversity? What they give to us? The answer is very simple. Because biodiversity ultimately supports human survival by many things. As example, birds control the insect population. Mangroves in the coastal area protect coastline from cyclones, from tsunamis, right? The small pollinators, insects support agricultural fields. Marine ecosystem support fisheries and livelihoods. So biodiversity give us a enormous thing, like in Samudra Manthan, give us a Amrut. So nowadays we can say that these are the Amruts that we get from the biodiversity. During ecological and wildlife related field experience, including studies linked with the lion, leopard, dolphins, birds, and coastal biodiversity, one thing becomes very clear to me. When one component collapses, the entire system becomes unstable. Ecosystem functions through the interconnected relationships. So, one thing is collapse, entire chain, entire cycle will be collapsed. Today, we are already witnessing increasing zoonotic disease, depletion of pollinators population because of use of so many pesticides. We have almost killed the many insects. So declining pollinators population will declining the agricultural fields. Ecosystem are imbalancing water crises and climate related disasters. We are already witnessing this problem. These are not only environmental problems, these are economical problems, public health problems, and national development problems. If we want to build Viksit Bharat by 2047, we must ensure that these all problems solved in sustainable manners by using this natural phenomenon, this nature and using of biodiversity that will not harmful the nature. For that, we need ecologists that will understand the ecology and certain things. Genetics, AI specialists, policymakers, educators, engineers, and local community work together. We must combine these all working together in one single umbrella. One of the most exciting scientific field today is biomimicry. I want to add one more example of biomimicry. Learning innovation from the biological system, right, is like nature has already spent millions of years to optimizing structural and material component by developing or evaluating the various kind of organisms. For example, birds inspired aircraft design. Right? We all know that birds inspired aircraft design, very powerful design we can get from the nature. Lotus leaves inspired self-cleaning surfaces. We all know that lotus never become dirty, right? They are self-cleaning surfaces. How? That we all know. We can search in the Google and we can find how they are self-cleaning surfaces. And shark skin inspired drag reducing materials. In our research, we become fascinated by microscopic teeth of marine limpet. You can see the image of marine limpet teeth that incredibly found structure and material that very strong and enough to stable many. This tiny organism continuously scrape hard rock surface through their life for the food gathering, right? Naturally, we ask how are these teeth so strong to scrape this rock and other materials. Detailed microscopic analysis from our study revealed highly organized mineral structure, giving extraordinary strength and durability. This inspired us toward interdisciplinary biomaterial study involving PMMA, the one kind of material used in dental applications. Conventional PMMA often suffers from cracking, impact failures, limited durability. But model inspiring from the limpet teeth by integrating when pet tooth based on the reinforcement, we observed significant improvement in the material strength and hardness. Now think about the beauty of this journey. A small marine organism observed in the coastal area, in the coastal rocks, eventually contributes knowledge that may improve the healthcare material. This is the power of multidisciplinary research. Marine biology, material science, dentific, dental clinical exercises, nanotechnology, and biomechanics become connected and make a strong material which can help in dentistry industry. This exactly type of innovation ecosystem needed for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now, if we go to the conclusion, the roadmap toward the Viksit Bharat, as we move forward, Viksit Bharat 2047, India has tremendous opportunity. We process extraordinary biodiversity, strong scientific talent, rich traditional knowledge, IKS, Indian knowledge system, integrated by this all tools and techniques, rich traditional knowledge systems, rapid growing technology capabilities, and one of the world's largest youth population. That we know that we have as India. But the future will belong to a nation that can integrated knowledge across the discipline. So we cannot focus on one discipline. We must integrated knowledge across the disciplines. We must encourage students not to think I am only the biologist, I am only the computer scientist, I am only the engineers, I am only the something else. But instead of that, we must create a researcher capable of collaborations across the domains. The next great innovation may emerge when the biology meets AI, when ecology meets engineering, when traditional wisdom meets modern technology, and when education becomes truly multidisciplinary. NEP 2020 must show this kind of things. Nature already contains countless solutions to the challenges that human faces today. Our responsibility is to observe carefully, think collectively, and innovate responsibly. Our responsibility is to observe carefully, think collectively, and innovate responsibly. And perhaps somewhere along our coastline, inside a forest ecosystem or hidden within the microscopic biological structure, the next breakthrough for humanity is already waiting for discovery. I sincerely, with this all, I sincerely thank all of you for your valuable time and attention. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
On behalf of the entire Vedant family, I express deep sense of gratitude towards plenary speaker Dr. Bhavik Vakani for his insightful talk and time. Thank you, sir. Now moving ahead, academic excellence becomes meaningful when guided by experienced scholars and mentors. We are honored to have eminent academicians serving as session chair experts for this conference. Our respected session chair experts are Dr. Ranjana Yadav from Magad Mahila College, Patna, Bihar. Dr. Arya Sharma, Professor with MedJoin Academy. Dr. Divya Shikhar, Assistant Professor, Amity University, Patna. Dr. Seema Thakran, Assistant Professor with the North Cap University. Dr. Akanksha Avasthi, Assistant Professor with Dr. C.V. Raman University. Banasri Bandopadhyay, Assistant Professor, Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. Dr. Diviraj Singh Jadeja, Assistant Professor, Christ College, Rajkot, Gujarat. Dr. Nishu Sethi, Assistant Professor, the North Cap University. We warmly welcome and thank all our session chair experts for their valuable academic support, constructive guidance and contributions toward maintaining the scholarly quality of this conference. Thank you. The research presentations form the intellectual heart of this conference. Researchers, scholars, educators and professionals from multidisciplinary domains and backgrounds are presenting innovative studies related to artificial intelligence, sciences, Indian knowledge systems, transformative education, sustainable development and sustainable practices, and multidisciplinary innovations. These presentations reflect the growing spirit of interdisciplinary scholarship and the academic energy required for building a knowledge-driven Viksit Bharat. Our respected session chair experts have appreciated the originality, relevance, innovation and multidisciplinary nature of the research presented during this conference and its various sessions. Their valuable suggestions, methodological observations and constructive feedback will further strengthen academic quality and practical impact of the research work presented at this conference. We now move forward toward the parallel paper presentation sessions and interactions with our respected session chair experts. Dear friends, as we conclude this meaningful international academic gathering, I extend my sincere gratitude to our distinguished keynote speakers, Dr. Peena Bhatt and Professor Dr. Shobhna Jeet, our plenary speakers, Dr. Komal Sharma and Dr. Bhavik Vakani, respected session chair experts, researchers, academicians, professionals, students, and all the members who directly or indirectly joined this event. This conference reaffirms our collective commitment to advance innovation through multidisciplinary research, to integrate AI sciences and Indian knowledge systems, and to contribute meaningfully towards the realization of Viksit Bharat by 2047. Thank you all for your valuable presence, participation and contributions. Thank you. Jai Hind.